Mehul was training Alia on how to work with him on field.
Look, Alia, you'll have to dedicate yourself a lot to work with me. Sometimes you'll even have to stay up all night.
Sir, I can sacrifice anything for my duty.
Mehul gets a call telling him that a man has died in street number 10.
We will continue the training later. Right now, we need to urgently head to street number 10. A man has died there.
Mehul and Alia head towards street number 10 area. Mehul comes across 3 roads. There's a blockade for 10 minutes on the first road because a minister is expected to pass through there. The second road is unpaved, but it's the shortest route. The third route goes over from a river, but the bridge is currently under construction. Can you guess which road Mehul will take? A, B, or C? Comment your answer below. Take a close look at the second road. It has deep ditches on either side, and the car's tires could get stuck there. The third road is completely blocked, so Mehul can't go that way. Mehul takes the first road because his murder investigation is important, and the minister hasn't arrived yet. Mehul speaks to the police and get passed through by the first road. Mehul and Alia arrives at street number 10 area, where they see a dead body lying inside a well.
This man must have been inside the well at least 4 or 5 hours ago.
Can you guess how Mehul figured out that the man had fallen into the well 4 or 5 hours earlier? The dead body was floating on the water, and a human body only starts floating above the water after being submerged for about 4 to 5 hours. Mehul brings a rope from his car and drops it into the well. Using the rope, he climbs down the well. Inside, he also spots a sandal.
This sandal doesn't seem to belong to this man. It must be the killer's.
Why did Mehul think that this sandal might belong to the killer? Look closely at the dead body. He has shoes on both feet. This means the sandal definitely doesn't belong to the dead man. Also, the sandal looks brand new. And why would someone throw a newly brought sandal inside the well? That's why Mehul suspects the sandal could belong to the killer. Meanwhile, Alia had tied the other end of the rope to the car's hood. As soon as Mehul signals, Alia starts reversing the car, and Mehul manages to pull the dead body out. Mehul gets out and sees the rope tied to the car.
I thought you would have pulled the rope with your strength, but it turned out the smart way.
Sir, I thought, why should I put in the effort when the car is parked right next to me?
Mehul carefully examines the dead body and realizes that the man was murdered. How did Mehul figure out that this man was murdered? Comment your answer below. Look closely at the dead body. There are distinct marks on both of its wrists, which means the victim was likely tied up with a rope or iron chain. This is how Mehul understood that the man had been murdered. Mehul quickly interrogates with all nearby people. One man tells that the dead man's name is George, and he was a mechanic.
Dr. Sanjana will be able to determine how he died.
Mehul and Alia take George's dead body to Dr. Sanjana's lab. The lab door is locked with a logical password. Potato, tomato, chile, bottle gourd. One of these 4 is the odd one out. Can you figure out which one? Comment your answer below. The odd one out is potato. Among these 4, all items except for the potato grow above the ground, while the potato grows underground. Therefore, the odd one out is potato. Mehul presses the potato button and enters the lab with George's dead body. Inside, Dr. Sanjana was doing some research.
Alia, you tell Dr. Sanjana everything. I'll be right back.
But Alia doesn't respond, and when Mehul turns around, he notices that Alia is not there.
Damn this girl. I don't know where she disappears to.
Alia then returns with a mango juice.
Sorry, sir, I was really thirsty. So I went to get some mango juice.
You and your appetite, Alia.
Dr. Sanjana prepares the autopsy report for the dead body, and shortly after informs Mehul that George died from drowning, and that the dead body had been in the water for about 6 to 7 hours. Mehul quickly heads back to the crime location, telling Alia to come along, but Alia was busy playing a game on her phone.
Oh, this girl will never learn.
He quietly observes that Alia is playing the detective IQ game.
Alright, at least she's trying to improve her logical skills. Logical army, you should also play the detective IQ game to improve your logic.
Mehul leaves Alia behind and arrives at Crime Sense. Mehul sees the glass of the window in the building across shattered. Can you tell by looking at the window whether it was broken from the outside or the inside? Comment your answer below. There are some pieces of glass on the tin under the window. This means the glass was broken from the inside. Mehul walks towards the building and finds a lot of junk under the tin. As he investigates, he spots an iron chain. After looking at the chain, Mehul immediately realizes that George's hands must have been tied with this chain. Why did Mehul think that? Comment your answer below. Carefully observe that, apart from the chain, there are many other iron objects there, but the chain is rusted, and the rust is very fresh, while the other iron items are not rusted. Rust forms on iron only when exposed to humidity. Since Mehul found a sandal in the well, it's possible that the killer went into the well, removed the chain from George's hands, and that's why the chain must have caught rust due to being wet. Additionally, there are faint signs of blood stains on the chain as well. Mehul enters the building and finds 3 people partying inside. He questions them about George's murder. The first man tells him that he arrived back home on the 2 a.m. train last night and shows Mehul his ticket. The second man explains that his friend was not well, so he spent the entire day at the hospital, showing Mehul the hospital bill. The third man claims he was awake all night, so he slept throughout the day and doesn't know anything. Mehul has to determine who among these 3 could be lying or potentially involved in George's murder. Can you figure out who among the 3 is lying? The first man is lying because if you look closely on his ticket, it's dated 2020, which means it's very old. He's definitely lying. Mehul catches him.
Tell me the truth. Who killed George?
The man then tells that he didn't kill George, it was Sarah who did. She knocked George unconscious, tied his hands, and threw him into the well, which led to George's death.
Then why did you lie to me?
The man replies that as soon as he learned that Sarah had thrown George into the well, he immediately went down the well too and freed George from the chain. But by that time, George was already dead. He came out with the chain that had been tied around George's hands, but one of George's sandals fell into the well. He was so frightened of being caught that why he lied.
Interesting, very interesting. Now time to find out if he was telling the truth or lying about Sarah.
He gets the address of Sarah's house and arrives there. Sarah's brother is a police constable. Looking at the scene outside the house, Mehul realizes that Sarah must be involved in illegal activities. Why does Mehul think Sarah is likely involved in illegal activities? There are BMW cars parked outside the house. How could a police constable's family afford such an expensive car? Even if a police constable spent his entire salary of his lifetime, he wouldn't be able to buy such an expensive vehicle. This means there must be some illegal activities happening in the house. Mehul enters the house to find Sarah calmly sipping tea.
You're sitting here enjoying tea after murdering George. You are under arrest. Come with me. Look, I don't raise my hand against children and women, so don't make me do it.
Just then, Alia arrives and delivers a powerful kick to Sarah.
Wow, Alia, your timing was perfect.
Alia restrains Sarah, and Mehul starts questioning her. Sarah then reveals that she uses her brother's name to engage in illegal activities. George used to also work with her, but since he was about to inform the police about everything, she killed him. Alia and Mehul take Sarah into custody. Case solved. Alia and Detective Mehul rock.